It's time to see what the mod collection has in store for us. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. I'm doing it blind this week, reacting to them live. So our first one, Toasty Natural 64 SG Standard. Ooh, I do like that. The wood grain reminds me of some 90s Gibson mahogany backs. You can find stuff like this. You don't see grain like this every day in the custom shop. That's a really nice one-piecer. Although it looks like they gave us the speed knobs, you've got all the aged hardware, pickup covers, all that good stuff. But now let's flip it over to the back. Okay, yeah, it matches. Kind of reminds me of like the Sapele Les Paul Customs that they were advertising. Because to prove my point, look at the neck. Completely different wood grain and color. And it has our new mod collection decal and double ring Clusen tuners. But now Regal Eggplant 5700. With a name like that, I would expect something purple, but this is like a really dark purple perimeter burst. Okay. If the headstock isn't green, I'm going to be disappointed. Just some leaves at the top, but nice uncovered humbuckers. Golden reflectors work pretty well on that. But ooh, nice. Really rich color on the back with the cream plastics, but then they give you an extended stinger. With again, our new decal, but the font for the numbers looks slightly larger than usual. But oh my goodness, that's not black, that's purple. And sadly, no green on the headstock. But whoa, if you needed some more color, the turquoise mine. It's pretty exotic looking with that golden pick guard, with matching speed knobs and cream P90 cover, wrap tail piece, all the good usual regular stuff, just with a much more boisterous finish. Including a matching headstock and truss rod cover, but that looks like it's going to be satin in nature, and oh, the closer you get to that Gibson logo, the more wonky it looks. And the back is completely matching. This one doesn't seem too bad for $2,000. It's another one of those Iomis. Just dressed up to be a little bit more different. Reminds me of the peanut butter one we saw a couple of weeks ago. But we got a mini humbucker in the neck, P90 in the bridge. The cream plastics play off the bigger black surrounds. We've got the Derek truck style, put the vibrola plate on it, but don't actually have the vibrola, pigtail with that kind of copper color. Then the headstock has a little bit of tinting to the lacquer. And our back's just pretty much more of the same that we saw on the top. And hey, we got Locking Grover tuners. But whoa, this is nice, 4400. They say it's a Les Paul custom, but it's spec'd out like a 54 reissue, except for we actually have the flame maple top. So if you were in the market for an Alnico 5 staple pickup guitar and you didn't care about it being an all mahogany body, this could have been a good option because it looks like it actually is an ABR1 bridge. So I do believe this was like a custom order type thing, so it technically probably should have been billed as a 54 and it got sold too cheaply. Yeah, just looking at the headstock veneer can confirm that. But ooh, this one must have been kicking around a while, dating to 177, and that switch happened, I forget exactly when, I think it was around 207 that they started the decals. But the back is just completely black. And ooh, that's a good weight. But now Warren Aqua 335 for $3,000. My first impressions is, it's a nice light grayish blue. Appears to be satin, maybe not the most craziest thing we've ever seen, but could be palatable to someone. Looking for something a little bit less exotic. As far as the headstock, looks like they played around with our tuner tips a bit. Then gave us the new decal and a matching back, but left the neck kind of a dark color. But now dark charcoal metallic, it's gone. It's sold as a 63 reissue at $3,800. Charcoal metallic is a great color. You have to appreciate it in person. It's just a really deep, dark grayish black hue. You can see it very well over here. I'd say the SG body shape pulls that off really well. I was trying to see what was going on with our headstock. Do they like spray it over? Is it sparkly? It looks like they gave you the old-timey Gibson logo. And the rest of it is matching, but something with the aged cream double ring Clusen tuners, it changes and makes it look so spooky. That might be the thumbnail. And as we look over the back, seems to be a complete gloss refinish. As charcoal metallic's clear coat ages, it turns into a green hue. So seeing bullion green metallic on a 335 next is pretty appropriate, and I would say looks pretty decent with the silver top reflector knobs. And as far as a pick guardless semi-hollow, it actually works pretty well. Looks like we're going to be rocking the waffle back tuners. Confirmed. And we've got our decal. And the back is entirely matching. Next up, Bellini Blast. It's kind of like Peach Burst. I would love to see that become an official title for something in the future. Reminds me of the old Rose Gold series that Guitar Center used to do, but with like maybe a little bit of a reddish orange border to it. The back is just a really dark, vibrant red hue. And the headstock was left alone. And oh, interesting, they gave it a VOS finish that you normally have to go to custom shop for. But the last one from USA Mod Collection is called Dark Cask Satin. We're getting on to the final weeks of Halloween. We haven't really seen anything super spooky. Maybe this is their take on a coffin-like finish. So it's a Les Paul Senior style, which means Les Paul Junior, but with a carved top. The rest of it's basically a standard, except for we've got our dot inlays. But it's got the binding. It's still a mahogany top. If there was ever a model to modify the Gibson logo for, to have the old-timey one, it would be this one. Only if it's done up in pearl. But our tuners were upgraded, truss rod cover downgraded, but this one is serial DS215 with the decal. But now the EU mod collection, looks like we have something called Sparkle Cloud on a 60s standard. So a really nice light blue finish. Looks like it might have a little bit of silver flake within it, but then you get the super dark contrasting black plastics with the dark fretboard and black switch tip, not having the poker chip. But whoa, was not expecting a red back. Oh no! The EU stopped doing all their fancy other photos. That's a shame. The candid shots are gone. And whoa, Tobacco Static Blast. I have no idea why Tobacco's the name, but an 80s Explorer in a silver metallic sparkle burst? Yes, please. That looks great. Now, it looks like even your dark border is actually going to have a little bit of a metallic sheen to it and do a color shifting effect. Looks like we did get one slight close-up shot. Maybe that's where the tobacco burst part comes from. And throw on the bejeweled knobs just for fun, why not? Gold hardware isn't always the right choice for silver burst, but sometimes it works. Got your golden pole pieces on our pickups. The headstock was spared from any modification outside of our tuners. And nice! This was the make it or break it. They did the full job. They bursted it on the neck, the headstock, the body. Whoever bought this, congratulations, that was a good buy. And oh, Grasshopper Doppler. Huh. I like it as an art project, but I just see somebody opening the stage curtain. But I do love the optical illusion guitars and just designs in general. I definitely don't hate it, but I'm not sure I would buy it unless it was painted like a watermelon, because then it'd be hilarious. But you got the uncovered pickups, a headstock that was left alone, and they completely abandoned the idea on the back with one of those newly stamped Gibson USA style serial numbers. But now the Gibson USA Demo Shop, they're having an early Black Friday deals. It just starts earlier and earlier every single year. It's 10% off most of their inventory that's been sitting around a while. I didn't see anything that was like, we must have this. Okay, maybe except for that. That's nearly in reviewable price range territory for that AMS exclusive. But the Demo Shop didn't upload 2 times this week. They actually did 4 times. Here's what stood out to me from those. They had a BB King Lucille Legacy model, marked all the way down, half price. And sure enough, if you want to buy this brand new, they are $8,000. And if anybody's after kind of an interesting one, a viewer of the show actually sent me this listing before and said, hey, I think Gibson messed up. This is supposed to be a see-through transparent ebony finish, but from these photos, it actually looks like a solid black, technically custom color. It's either that or there's just like no wood grain to see. I'm not sure, but it's an option for somebody. Next up, we had a Les Paul Classic in translucent cherry. Why am I sharing this one though? It's not because of anything special, it's because of the defect. Interesting checking along our neck's edge. And then this Hummingbird Standard. For $3,300, I was captivated by because you got this interesting streak in the wood and it's perfectly book matched. It's just like a mustache, I guess you could say. Whether you love that or hate that, I'll leave that up to you. But then I was also surprised by, oh, it's a rosewood back and side version. Okay. There was a sparkly blue Les Paul Custom for technically a $500 discount. There's one for the lefties as a tribute in satin finish. However, there was a really nice attention to detail thing here that you don't see every time on the lefties. So the headstock, it's all flipped around. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. But the back, look what they even did with the demo stamp. They took the time to stamp that the opposite direction than they usually do. That's a lefty making things for lefties there. This might have been one of the best tops we've ever seen on one of these Access Customs. I would argue the finish is a little bit dark, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. That is a great top on one of these. Then we can wrap up tonight's episode with a pretty nice Jessica. It sold rather quickly because this is a 3-piece top model because that's just part of Slash's legacy. However, it gives the appearance of a 1-piecer. It's got so much great wood grain, I definitely see why someone wanted to pick that one up. Alright, Troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.